By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what this image is referring to. Welcome back to another video with terrible audio quality. Please forgive me, I am not able to use my regular setup again today. But I can bring you your latest Snapshot video, or should I say pre-release, because this is the first one for 1.21.9, which will be known as the Copper Age drop. And as it states here on the website, pre-releases don't follow the regular Tuesday release schedule. This likely means that I won't be able to cover these as and when they are released. So you might see a video from me on the weekend bundling a bunch of these pre-releases together, but it depends on what we get. And along with releases, we have news, big Minecraft news. Mojang have put out their Minecraft Live official trailer for September 2025. This is when they make big announcements to the community about their plans for the future. So I will be covering that here on this channel. It's on the 27th, so make sure you're subscribed and then you can catch the recap of what they announce in this event. Personally, I was expecting them to announce the winter drop, but according to this tweet, it's developer secrets that are going to be revealed. Or possibly both. Either way, subscribe and you'll find out on September the 27th. Which reminds me, the Minecraft account also tweeted this image with the times in lots of different time zones, so hopefully that's useful for you. Let's now get into the changes of this pre-release, starting with Mannequins, which have had some adjustments to their profile data, allowing for static profiles with both the name and ID missing. That stuff's kind of technical, but don't worry, there's some new stuff that you can do with the mannequins, including giving them a pose. The command for this is pretty straightforward. You add the pose tag and then define what pose. The first one we're going to check out is sleeping. And this thing is just going to drop in from the sky and land gracefully where the last few did. This has definitely got a little bit of a derpy vibe going on to it. Check this out. Boop, down I go, taking some fall damage. This is how we make a thumbnail, my friends. Alright, just one more to go. And there we all are. There's just something about these, like, lying down on the ground that amuses me. Okay, we have another pose here, which is crouching. You can see when I nudge the mannequin, it stays in this pose. The next one is swimming. And that's the pose that you saw in the image at the beginning of the video. I'm now going to put you in your natural habitat. And I'm going to guess you're probably going to end up drowning. The next pose is called Full Flying. It looks a bit like the swimming one, but there's an animation that plays right at the very beginning there. And here they are side by side. You can see there is some difference in the pose. Oh, and that was actually all of the poses. They look kind of derpy on the mannequins. Poses are not the only thing you can add. There is the immovable tag, as well as description below score and hide description. Immovable does exactly what you might think it does. It stops it from moving, but it doesn't stop it from pushing you back as well, which is interesting. Now, I can't actually show you description below score and hide description, because notice how all of the mannequins that we've seen don't actually have these. I believe this is a bug in the pre-release with these new features not working correctly. Fortunately, we can go and check out my previous video on these mannequins. You can see the name Mannequin at the top and NPC below them. So as you can see here, it says the default would be NPC, and we can now customize this as well as have the ability to hide it completely. And they'll probably have that one fixed in the next pre-release. So that's all of the mannequin stuff. Next, some changes to the Spawnpoint command. I'm going to go ahead and set it to these coordinates, but then we can add two additional fields. We have rotation, and now it'll accept pitch as well. So let's go ahead and press enter. Then I will kill myself and respawn, and notice how we're facing the ground. That's because my pitch is 90. As I look upwards, it will go all the way up to -90. I'll go ahead and kill myself and respawn, and now we're looking slightly upwards. This means you can control where the player is looking when they respawn. And you can now also control what dimension Worldspawn is in. This is not to be confused with a player's spawn point though. That can be set by sleeping in a bed. So for this next experiment, I'm going to set my spawn point here and then break the bed so that I no longer have one. Okay, we're now going to use the set Worldspawn, but we're going to execute it from the Nether dimension. So now our Worldspawn is actually in the Nether. Okay, so I'm going to kill myself yet again and respawn. It seems there's a bit of a bug. It decided to spawn me down at the bedrock level. Let's go ahead and just execute that command while we're in the Nether. And then I'm going to kill myself from the overworld. Hopefully this time it works properly. I think this might be a little bit bugged out. Anyway, the intention here is that now your world spawn can be in any dimension. So if you want to start a Minecraft world from the Nether by default or the end dimension, you can do that, which is pretty cool. There are some more technical details about it here. It works on servers, and the set world spawn can also use that pitch argument so you can define where the player is looking when they first spawn in the world. These changes also mean that the entity data of a player has changed slightly to accommodate the dimension, pitch and angle. Okay, last of all, some changes to the copper golem. It's going to try and open chests that are neighbouring blocks when it's a passenger. I think it's related to this bug here where copper golems stop sorting items when they're inside of a minecart. And there are a bunch of other minor tweaks and changes to the copper golem in this pre-release, but they're all related to bugs that have emerged in the recent development cycle, so not much else to comment on here. We do have a couple of oldies here though, including explosions not damaging an entity if the distance to its eyes is 0, which means it's right next to the explosion. Okay, and the other bug you saw there was related to falling into the end portal, and that will now negate full damage. I thought we might end this video with a little bit of a test. Let's actually fall in and see if it was fixed. There was water below the portal though, wasn't there? Oh well, it seems that you're not going to take any damage. Okay, so the image at the beginning of this video was a reference to the Mannequin Poses and the ability to set your world spawn in the Nether. So I've recently made a playlist called New to Xisuma. If you are new to my content and you want to deep dive on some of the stuff that I've done over the years, that playlist should be on your screen. It's full of some unlisted videos where I explain what's in the playlist as well. So if you want to get some context, check out some stuff I've done in the past. There's that. As you can tell though, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.